Hi, welcome back to my mini homestead. It's done. We've got this room done. So both bedrooms are now down upstairs. Let's take a closer look. I understand when they're doing renos why they like to take things out, because it was not easy getting in there and getting those screws into place. Mom's got a little tiny screwdriver, electric screwdriver, that one. So I would get it in part ways, and then I could finally get my impact screwdriver in there and get them down the rest of the way. So here's my supervisor. He watches every step that I do. Okay, so as you can see, we got the subfloor down. Everything is painted in here. Walls, ceilings, this wall. And now we've decided to make it a feature wall. So I'm gonna start getting this one painted up, and we're gonna see what it's gonna look like in the end. Now that's the first coat. Gonna have to do another coat. Fortunately, we don't have light in the ceiling here, so you can't get a good picture of it, but that's the first step to our feature wall. Floors are going in. Really like how it's looking, and we are gonna do black baseboards. You can see I got just a little piece there, just making sure we're close enough to the walls. And oh, this cutter, love this cutter. So much better than using my, my saw. Love it. Here's Mom fixing what I wrecked on the paint because I had to pull the casing out, but Rocky's trying to get in the paint. Floors are done.
Go, get lost. Get lost. Go.
All done.
Go.
He's gonna get his paws in the kit lid.
It's got.
And then today, Mom and I worked on designing our wall. We bought all the trim, and by the time we got home, all the tape was falling off.
No.
But our main one, which is this double one here, is still here. So that's everything we're gonna go off of. We've got it drawn on paper, but as you can see, Mom's having to go in there and touch it all up. And it had, when I pulled the casing off, it had pulled the paint out. So we need to get that done before we can put the trim in. Tomorrow is baseboards. So I'm on the last steps in this room, or we're on the last steps in this room. What I've done, you can see I've got tape down there, and I've just stuck it on the wall randomly. I'm gonna go across the wall with a stud finder, find the studs, put the tape where the studs are. So the most important part for me for starting this wall is these pieces right here. Your very first piece that you put down, I think you want it to be nice and long. So it's going from the top to the bottom. And this is where I used my Smart Square to make sure I get my angles. So let's go take a closer look. So down here at the bottom, I take the Smart Square, put it in there, and that is going to give me my 45 degrees. And everything I've done on here is 45 and 90 degrees. So that gives me my 45. So once I've got that set, I put a piece of trim in there. Let me show you. I stuck a piece of trim, that's a little tight now, in there. And then I did my next one. So that's how I got my measurement between this one all the way up. So I just put another piece of trim in here, like that, and then nailed it in. Now this piece was long enough that I didn't need to put the glue on all of it. I did put the glue on the very tip of it, and then down at the very bottom of it. But other than that, this one got nailed into place. And then let's grab that Smart Square. All my other shapes, like right in here, let's go back a bit. So right in here, This is where you turn your smart square to the different angle, and then you've got your 90. And so you set that piece up there, or you can set it up here to get your 90. So everything is either the 45 or the 90 degrees. So again, down here in this corner, I'm going to, oh yeah, get it right. There's my 90, but if I'm going on this corner, there's my 45. So let me show you what I did so I knew where my studs were. I did 3 rows of green painter's tape. I used my stud finder, went along there and marked it all along the bottom. Then I went up to the middle, marked it all along there, and then up to this part. So I had 3 rows of tape so that when I was nailing everything into place, I didn't have to pull out my stud finder to figure it out. So when you cut your slats of wood, you're trying to get them as close as possible. Now like this one, you can see it's pretty tight. This one, I've got more of a gap in there. This one's less of a gap. What I'm using is wood filler to fill those in. Let me show you what I do. So there's my wood filler that I'm using. And I'm just start off with my hand. I hold the container sort of down below to catch it. And then I take it and I just shove it into the crack. Let's see if you can see that. So I'm just shoving it in because I want to fill that crack as much as possible. And because these are wood on MDF, and I'm just going to keep pushing it in as much as I can. Clean out the little... So just squeeze it all in there until it's pretty smooth. And then I will take a putty knife. I mean, this stuff is very crumbly, very sandy, like, and then I just sort of spread it out because I'm trying to get rid of any ridge I might have. But like I said, this stuff is just crumbly, right? So let's slap a bunch on there and I lost it. Make sure you sweep your floor up and don't step on this stuff. Otherwise you're going to work it into the grains of your flooring. So there we go. Getting it up there. Spread it in. And figure out which way is the higher side. So this is higher. So I'm just in there and trying to flatten that out the best as I can. And I do come in here and try to clean those corners out. And then we'll let it dry and come back in and sand it. I think I'm just going to use a nail hole filler for all my little ones instead of this. So I've got the rest of the wall to go. I'll show you when I get it all done. So as you can see, I've got all the points where my boards connect all done. I've got a couple nails that I need to set. So I've got my nail setter and my little hammer. Just going to go set those and then fill those holes. Let it have a good time to dry, get it sanded off, and then I'm going to paint. Okay, so I've got all of the wood fill in, and now I just have to go back in, sand it till it's smooth. I don't want any bumps or anything. And, ooh, that's pretty good. So that when I paint it, this line here will basically disappear. So I have lots of it to do, so I'm going to get to it. After we had taped up the wall, then what I did is I took the measurements and put them onto the piece of paper, which is a good thing because our tape fell off, as I mentioned. And then we had this to go on. So this here line is just the bottom of the wall. And everything else, this is the piece that I started with first that set us up. I mean, we did do changes here. We don't have this many. But I think it worked out pretty good. Okay, it's time to get this wall painted again. I've got my rolling stool that I'm going to use for doing the lower part. Once that's done, I will put the drop cloth down. And then I've got 2 different levels for climbing up there and getting it painted. So let's get started. We're going to put the door on right away, and then so you're not going to, and I'm really sad about putting the door on because it's going to actually block some of this beautiful wall that I think turned out just great. So we've got a bedspread, and pillow shams that are just a little bit lighter than the color of the walls. The nightstands we had when we moved here. The headboard though, is we found it on Marketplace. It was cost us 20 bucks. And then Mom painted it so it looks so much better. It was just like a fake oak type thing. Nothing fancy, but it's gonna do the job for now. So that is, let's see if I can get into a corner. And so that's sort of what everything looks like. Really pretty. And then of course the completed wall. And it turned out really, really nice. Really happy with it. And then we've got some pictures. I'm not sure if they're from Thailand, or I think they're from Thailand. My uncle is from Thailand, but he is Chinese. The family goes back to China. And they got these pictures for my parents probably 40, 45 years ago. And I think it's like, you know, that pearl from shells and stuff. They're so pretty. So what we have is 4 of them for the 4 different seasons of the year. We don't know which one's which. We just like them because they're pretty. So thanks for watching another video that we're putting out there. Hope you enjoy seeing what we're doing. Really happy to have this room done. Mom's currently working on the stairs, getting them painted. And next we're going to start in the kitchen. We're going to get the door on this room, Mom's bathroom. I still have something to put on the wall in Mom's bathroom. And then that will be done and we'll show you that one. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and click that like button if you like it. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.